Sabah everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the HBADA E3 ergonomic chair. This is one of the most comfortable, cool chairs that is also very customizable. And what I'm talking about, essentially a whole bunch of different controls. We're all talking about the same chair that I'm sitting on right now. I've been using it for the last couple of weeks and it is an absolute pleasure. So without further ado, this is TK and this is the HBADA E3 ergonomic office chair. Let's check it out. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos on the channel. We're going to start off by talking about the fact that this is an office chair, not a gaming chair. So some of the ergonomics and the characteristics that we see here are going to be more conducive to office experience. So one of the first thing I'll probably say is obviously this is an entirely mesh chair. So essentially a lot of airflow that's going to be going through and of course a lot of customizations, and we're going to talk about that. The packaging for this overall, when it comes in, it comes well packaged. It's entirely in one box and you get all of the components that you need to be able to put the chair together. It did take me about roughly 10 to 11 minutes to put it together, and it was mostly because I needed to also understand the mechanics of this. I'm used to I'm used to assembling gaming chairs, and this one was a little bit more obviously an office chair. But we have a footrest, or essentially an extension to be able to lay your feet on, and we also have the ability of customizing the different options between the lumbar support, neck support, back support, as well as also controlling the armrests into 3 different configurations. But once you have it assembled, it actually looks pretty decent. There's a nice little metallic design on the back, and overall what you're getting here essentially is a very nicely built, very rugged office chair. One thing to keep in mind here is that the mesh material is present not only on the back, but it's also on the chair. So you definitely have a little bit more airflow, more airflow and better cooling when you're sitting on these chairs for an extended amount of time. Again, which makes them a little bit more conducive for meetings and of course working. So this is, as an office chair, you get the configuration of having the ability of adjusting not only the seat where you're sitting, but also adjusting the lumbar support, the back, as well as the overall neck configuration. So that not only you can actually adjust the neck piece, which is sitting right there on the back, but also raise the back in here and of course make sure that it fits you right. Of course, height adjustable, that goes without saying, and it goes up to about 22 inches from the ground to the bottom of the seat. So essentially that's how much the elevation is from the ground up. The legs are actually made out of metal with nice, very solid wheels, and within the last couple of weeks I haven't had any issues at all. Overall, I've had it configured into one configuration and I've stuck with it. Now, as far as the actual height from the ground, I know a lot of people always want to know, it goes up basically up to 22 inches from the ground to the base of the chair. Since there's no foam, there's no material, the base is literally where you're sitting. So that's one of the things you want to keep in mind. We have the ability of adjusting the back to about 115 degree angle of incline, so you can bring it back 115 degrees and extend the leg rests, which allow you to actually sit back. So you're not able to go into a flat position, but it does give you the ability of, let's say if you're watching something like me, I like to turn on something on the monitor that's up there and I can watch a movie, extend the legs, and I'm just relaxing as opposed to having to work all the time. And I think that's one of the biggest benefits here. You're getting the comfort and the adjustability that you want. Now, as far as the armrest, there's the ability of going up and down and then tilting them either inwards or outwards. And that gives you the ability of getting that nice, comfortable position. So if you like having your hand and you like basically opening them up, closing them, sitting at a desk, you can adjust them, put them up and down. There's a nice little trigger that's sitting right on the bottom of it, and it's easily adjusted. And again, as I mentioned to you guys, the sitting area itself also slides forward and backwards, and you can release it with the levers that you have on the bottom right. I think that's also some of the best configuration there. So after using it for a couple of weeks, I'll say that, I don't know, you probably don't know, but I typically stay in the office for between 8 to 9 hours a day, and sitting on this for that amount of time, I have not had any of the issues I've had with my gaming chairs in the past. And this is something that has always gotten to me. And because of the material that they're using here for both the sitting area as well as on the back, you get much better airflow and you stay cooler longer. On top of the fact that they're definitely very comfortable and, again, intended to be in them for an extended amount of time. I remember back when I used to work in an office that we used to get these chairs and they were really expensive. So that's one of the biggest things I really enjoyed about this. It's that you're getting the comfort, the flexibility, and the customization to get it to work for you exactly. And because of the lumbar support present on the bottom here, you're able to control that with the seat. You're able to actually push out or push into it and allow you to give you a little bit more or less lumbar support if you need it. Now, due to the fact that they're using the mesh design both on the chair as well as on the back, you get much better airflow and you stay cooler longer for an extended amount of time, allowing you to sit in the chair for an extended amount of time without feeling that warming effect that you get from gaming chairs that typically have that foam in there. This is some of the things that you want to consider when you're working from home, or if you're in a position where you have to be in front of a computer for an extended amount of time. This works great and it looks great. Now, What I will probably say is the lumbar support that we have on the bottom here is a little bit adjustable based on the chair that you're sitting in. So there's a little bit of an option to slide in or out, and you can configure it to basically be either more or less lumbar support. And you do have a little bit of kind of like wings on the side here that you're able to bring in. As far as the neck rest or the backrest here for the neck, it is also adjustable. So not only does it go up and down, but it also tilts forward and tilts down, allowing you to adjust it to the best level experience. The back is also adjustable, but only in upwards or downwards motion. So you can go 1, 2, 3 clicks. By the 4th click, that's the maximum, it drops back down, and then you can readjust. So again, you can customize the armrest, you can customize the sitting area, you can customize the height of the chair, the extension for the leg cushion, the leg support in case you want to, recline back to about 115 degrees. Or you can also be able to basically configure the back as well as the neck configuration there. So everything here is very nice, and it has been a pleasure to use it for the last couple of weeks. So I switched entirely from my gaming chair to this, and I have not regretted that. Now, if there is one thing that I do miss about my old gaming chair, and that's probably going to be the height. The maximum height on my old gaming chair was about 24 inches. For me, on this one, the maximum is about 22. And that's not essentially a bad thing, but for me, again, based on my height, I'm about 5'10", I prefer the higher seating, and for all intents and purposes, I've configured my office using my gaming chair, so the camera positioning, the desk, even my desk behind me are all set up to be at that level. So the only thing I needed to do is kind of readjust a few things, and of course, it works great. So just keep that in mind, about 22 inches from the ground up to the base. So at the end of the day, how do you get it? It's pretty simple. It's instructions as you guys can see in there. You're able to pick it up, select the type of chair that you want. They have 3 options available. And of course, you have the ability of getting the one that works the best for you and of course fits your needs. And I felt like they gave me the flexibility and the options that I had on my gaming chair, specifically the leg rest, which I really enjoyed, especially when I'm watching movies on my display, on my monitor that's above right there. So again, you're able to pick one that works for you and of course gives you the best experience. Thank you very much for sticking with me to the end of this video. My hope is that you found that the HBADA E3 ergonomic chair will have an option for you that you could use. And of course, make sure you check out that coupon that's in the description below to be able to save yourself 10% on your order of your own HBADA chair. And of course, make sure you enjoy it for either using it for the office or the way I even use it. I even game with it. It works really nice. It's comfortable, it's breathable, it's cool, and it of course is customizable to the way you like it so that you get everything you want. And again, the leg rests for me are definitely a plus. Very few chairs on the market have them. Even office chairs typically don't have them. So like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support. I'll see you in the next one.